What's going on, everybody? It's Aurora coming at you with a brand new video, and today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Unchained support coming out of Duelist Nexus. Again, Konami just on a complete, rampage right now, dropping new support. But for this one in particular, I'm really excited, because Unchained, if you didn't know, is a deck that I covered in my Sleeper Sunday series. It was one of the earlier decks, I believe, that I covered, and it was one of the most fun that I've actually had making a Sleeper Sunday, because the deck actually felt pretty good to play, and I feel like it's a deck that just with a little bit of extra help can really become a super powerful archetype, at least on the rogue tier 2-ish level. And so I know they're getting 3 new cards, they're getting 2 new main deck monsters and a new extra deck monster. I don't know anything what they do. I barely looked at their artwork even, except for this Link monster right here. Very cool artwork there. I believe it is Sarama. That's the name of the third Unchained twin, and that, according to the lore, was the scientist or whatever it was that ended up having the twins in the first place. Or not having the twins, but owning them. That sounds really weird, but you know what I mean. But anyways, I don't want to waste any more time. Let's go ahead and get right into this. So, it says, unleash greater destruction with new Unchained souls. Destroy everything, even your own names. As a note, the TCG naming scheme for these cards means the proper nouns are likely going to be removed, and we get something like Crimson Unchained Soul and Azure Unchained Soul. The likely intention is to avoid offending highly conservative members of the Hindi faith living in Western nations. Okay, interesting. So, starting us off, we have Unchained Soul Sharvara. This is a new level 6 Fire Fiend effect monster with 2000 attack and 1500 defense, and this is an Unchained Soul, so you can use it for the links, I believe. And then it says you can only use each effect of this card's name once per turn. During the main phase of this card in your hand, quick effect, you can target a Fiend monster or a set card you control, destroy it, and if you do, special summon this card, and if you do that, you cannot special summon monsters while it is face up in the extra monster zone except Fiend monsters, and if this card is sent to the graveyard, not destroyed, you can set one Unchained spell or trap directly from your deck. So right off the bat, we're coming in swinging with an incredibly strong monster. So Unchained is basically an archetype that revolves around fiends that like to pop each other, not themselves, and then if they're popped by an effect that isn't their own effect, you get to special summon an Unchained directly from your deck, which is really nice. And so any way of extending from the hand that pops your own things is huge, and this plus any Unchained card, the spell and traps also work if they're destroyed by card effect, which is really good. Will literally give you instant access to one of their Link monsters, the Link 2. However, it's also immediate access to any of the Unchained back row, and they have one that's basically sort of like a Sword Soul Blackout, but it only pops one. I don't know the other analogy that you'd be able to use for that, but it pops one Unchained monster you control and one monster or card your opponent controls or on the field or something like that. So again, already just right off the bat, we're starting off with a really good monster here. And also because it's a quick effect, you don't really have too many things that are going to get impermed, because a lot of them, the best one, Aruha, I think it is, the red one, activates from hand anyways, so that doesn't really matter as much. But if you are using the, I think it's Rakia? It's not Rakia, is it? Oh no, I was right, it is Rakia, the blue one. It pops something while it's on the field as a quick effect, so if you're trying to use that and maybe you get impermed or something, you can use this to dodge it because it's during the main phase and it's a quick effect. So again, really solid. It's interesting that it says sent to the graveyard though instead of destroyed, because a lot of them, the benefit with them is that during tier format, for example, they can main deck Dimensional Shifter, and basically all of their stuff would still trigger because it says destroyed, not sent to the graveyard. So a little bit interesting that decided to go with this direction, but I mean, I'm not complaining about a free set of any Unchained Spell or Trap directly from the deck, meaning that it can't be ashed or anything. Already 10 out of 10 card here. And then the other main deck monster is Unchained Soul Shayama. Interesting that we're getting so many Unchained Souls instead of just Unchained monsters. This is a level 6 Water Fiend effect monster with 2000 attack and 1500 defense. You can only use each effect of this card's name once per turn. You can target one card you control, destroy it, then you can destroy one spell or trap card on the field, non-targeting. And if this card is in your graveyard, you can target one Fiend monster or one set card you control, destroy it, and if you do, special summon this card, but place it on the bottom of the deck when it leaves the field. Again, this is another really strong monster here. So this is another really beefy body, by the way. I didn't even mention these are both 2k, so they're already pretty solid on the board on their own. But this is going to basically be the same as Rakia, which I'm guessing is the point, because this one works in hand like Aruha, this one works on field like Rakia. So this one works, and it can not only pop your own things to special summon a different thing from your deck, but it also allows you to non-target blow up a back row on the field, which can either be your back row to float into another monster, or it can end up being a back row on your opponent's side of the field, which is going to be a little bit better for board breaking, rather than having to go into generic extra deck tools or into their really big abominable Unchained Soul. And then this is some really solid recursion, because one of the things that I noticed about Unchained is that if your board gets broken, whatever little board you may make, if it's not by destruction and you don't float into stuff, you're gonna be in for a really bad time. So this giving you free recursion every single turn, that also gives you a guaranteed link too, because you're popping one of your Unchained monsters or back row in order to float into another one. Like, that's just huge for the deck. So I think this is really solid. Again, already really nice 2 main deck monsters. I'm really excited to see this Link monster. And speak of the devil, literally it's Unchained. This is Unchained Soul King Yama. It is a Link 2 with down, left, down, right pointing arrows. It is a Dark Fiend Link monster with 2000 attack. And with, I already said the arrows. 2 Fiend monsters are the material requirements, and you can only use each effect of this card's name once per turn. If this card is special summoned, you can add 1 Unchained monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. And if a card you control is destroyed by battle or card effect while this card is in your graveyard, you can banish this card, special summon a Fiend monster from your hand or graveyard, then you can destroy 1 card you control. I see. So instead of making all of their Link monsters sort of removal pieces that all the other ones are, this one actually manages to be a consistency piece as well as being recursion in a sense for both the first and the second effect. I'm very intrigued by this. So it's a bit interesting that you're going to have a little bit more resources than you usually have in order to go into this and then go into your other plays, especially because the Link 3 is kind of bad. I mean, it's not bad, obviously, but the Link 2, for comparison, is a quick effect, whereas the Link 3 is only on your turn. So you're going to have a little bit more resources, unless, obviously, these are going to help you combo into some new stuff. But it does get you something directly from your deck, so I mean, yeah, because like I said, you'll need a little bit more in order to use the Sharvara, the Aruha clone. So I don't know exactly. I'll have to lab some combos with it, because this is already making me really itch to pick up the deck again, like actually, instead of just for the Sleeper Sunday. But this is not just recursion, but it's also searching. I do wish it said card and not just monster, but that'd be really, really strong. But I do like this recursion effect. It special summons a Fiend from your hand or grave, which is completely free. And then if you feel like you can non-target destroy a card you control, so that can trigger some floating. But if you really want to, you can just summon Abominable Unchained Soul, which is just a free pop on summon. However, it doesn't have any sort of restriction on it. So you could, in theory, summon your Link monsters like Unchained Soul of Rage, which is the quick effect Link 2. So maybe a play going into Rage and then into Yama, and then using Yama to summon back the Rage, but again, that would require a lot of different resources. So again, I'll have to lab some combos, or if you want to tell me in the comments below what combos can work with this card using just 2-card combos, because the deck was really good at 2-card comboing. However, it really didn't end on too much. It didn't have too much to show for it. It's just Unchained Soul of Rage, but I think this will definitely help it a little bit in terms of its combo potential, which is something I was actually looking forward to. When I was waiting for this to be translated, I was thinking in my head, I'm like, okay, I really want them to have a little bit more ways to actually perform something, because otherwise they just end on Unchained Soul of Rage. But now I'm thinking, because of Sharvara, you can probably consistently end on Rage plus the Escape of the Unchained. Target an Unchained monster you control and a card on the field, destroy both. So I think that could make the deck significantly better. But overall, what do I think about this support? I don't think a single one of these cards is lackluster by any means. I think all of these are huge for the deck. Not to mention, considering both the main deck monsters are Unchained Souls, you don't have to worry about, like, bricking on the older ones, like, Abominable Unchained Soul and Unchained Soul of Disaster. I mean, they're both fine cards, but Abominable Unchained Soul ends up being, like, actually, both of them are complete bricks, but at least Abominable can summon itself from hand, whereas Unchained Soul of Disaster is literally there for the board breaking and potential large body. But, I mean, other than that, it's like, I don't even know if I want to play this card now, because we have these, because, like, you have to, for context, you have to have an Unchained Soul monster as one of the materials for Rage, Anguish, and, not Abomination, but Rage and Anguish. So, this makes it so much easier, because now you have 2 really good main deck soul monsters, so you don't have to, like, rely on the bricky ones. And then this is just a really nice, again, combo piece for adding and recovering stuff, especially when the graveyard effect hits. Very, very nice. But I really like the Sharvara floating just by getting sent to the grave, period. I mean, obviously, I know it's get sent to the grave, so you can trigger if you link someone with it. But again, the fact that it doesn't trigger when it's destroyed is also interesting. But I definitely think that these cards are going to make Unchained significantly better, and it might even be able to perform on the regional level, or if it can, maybe it can sneak a top at a YCS here and there. I think it would need at least like a new back row or something that would be worth to get off of the Sharvara, other than just Escape of the Unchained or What are the other good ones? Oh no, Abomination's Prison is even an Unchained card, and Wailing is terrible, so never mind. Yeah, you're really only going to be getting one of the trap cards. But I don't know, that's just my opinion. Let me know yours down in the comments below, because that's going to do it for the video. If you liked it, please sure to leave a like, as I'll put this video and the channel into recommended. And if you like this content and would see more like it, like the rest of my review series, I try to review every new archetype and every way of support for an archetype that comes out, then perhaps consider subscribing, because we're on our way to 5,000 subscribers by the end of 2023, not to mention it supports the channel more than anything else, and it's absolutely free. Once again, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. This is Aurora, signing off.